strategies along with assessments. So what is curriculum? Curriculum is the lesson plan that we are creating for a subject. Instructional strategies are the pedagogical method that we are going to follow for teaching those lesson plans. And instructional strategies can be digitalized, can be, succumbing to the advancements in this technology. We can go in for advanced innovative technologies as a part of the instructional strategies as well, which becomes part of the pedagogy. So it purely depends on the teacher who teaches. But the curriculum is something that we have to think in clear, that if you're going to teach a program for 2 credits, which means 2 hours of theory in a week, so amounting to that, or 2 hours of 1 hour of theory and 2 hours of lab, it depends on the course or the curriculum that you are working on. And that particular course, what kind of instructional strategies will be appropriate should be clearly outlined by the teacher who is going to teach the particular course. So this is basically a student-centered approach. So teaching methods are tailored to ensure students to have the best possible chance to achieve the desired outcomes, supporting a diverse range of learning styles and needs. So as we already know that we have an indigenous, we are an indigenous country, we have a diverse population. So in our classrooms also there will be students with the from coming from different states, rural and urban areas, with so many differences in their backgrounds. They're going to be difference in their learning style also. So adapting a flexible style which is appropriate to meet the requirements and learning, motivation, that gives the learning motivation for the student is most important. So in that, keeping that in context, that later on we see that UGC and AICTE also, like, they have come up with a strong recommendation for standardizing the curriculum, which is suiting for diverse needs of the students. In that context, it is very clear that education is more and more becoming a student-centered approach more than a teacher instruction approach. So the flexibility in teaching and assessment is also important. So the methods of teaching, earlier in the conventional way, that the teacher will be giving an exercise, or they will be giving a class test, and then there will be, it has become so much advanced in the technological intervention into the classrooms, that every day class teaching can be assessed. So we have to make use of these things, because when we go into the class, we come up with outcome-based education perspective, it will have a clarity on their lesson plans that they have developed. So we need to be flexible enough that everyday classrooms can also, talks can also be assessed at the end. And then there is a high expectation when you are belief that all students can achieve mastery when provided with appropriate learning conditions and sufficient time. So it's a proven one that people are using this institutes. But the problem is fine-tuning the objectives and then fine-tuning the outcomes, and mapping them is what is actually not much of the people are aware of how to do it. But when we are working in National Institute of when as we are from national institutes, like RGNIYD or NIT Varangal, we always work every semester. We try to map each and every course that we teach in the line of, considering their, course objective, course outcome, and then learning outcome as a result of tests or assignments that we give to the students. We triangulate those results. So towards the second half of the session, I'm going to also give you an example on how to triangulate your, classroom teaching, so that you are in line and adhere to the path of outcome-based teaching and learning. So this is why are we actually focusing more on this outcome-based education is that to get mastery in learning. The students are often allowed to work on their own pace when you adapt outcome-based learning, with the understanding, that the students, when they have a liberty and autonomy to implement the task in their own way, the activities are more student friendly in nature. It is helpful for the students to attain mastery in a specific outcome, right? And it is consistent also. So, in conclusion, I would say the aim of outcome based education is not just completion of a curriculum, but it is the actual achievement of the skills and competencies needed in the real world application, ensuring that students are adequately prepared for life after education. Whether that's future education, entering to workshop, or participating in the society. So that this should be the center of focus when you are creating a curriculum in line with outcome based education. Now, clear learning outcome. What did I just wanted to give you a detailing about each and every aspect that I was talking to you in OBE right now. So, learning outcomes in OBE are precise statements that describes what learners will know, be able to do or value at the end of the learning experience. So, you're teaching the students, but they should know out of their learning what are they going to do with that, how are they going to implement in the real time activities, how much it is applicable for solving the real time issue. That is important. And there are measurable and observable, it should be the goals that you are setting up for your course should be measurable and observable, serving as a foundation for curriculum design, teaching, and assessment. Why? Because at the end of your outcome based education, we are only going to test whether what you propose as a goal in the initially as a part of your syllabus, are you reaching that when the students are completing the subject at the end, when the students are completing the subject at the end. So um, that is where that when you are setting your goal for your um, syllabus itself, you have to ensure that it is quite measurable and observable. It is quantifiable, rather I would say that it should be quantifiable, so that you can give exact measures and say that this is the improvement of the student in a numerical manner. So that the importance, why do you think this is important? Clear learning outcome ensures that all stakeholders, educators, students, and administrators have common understanding of the expected outcomes, which directs all educational activities. So the educators, students, and administrators should have a common understanding. Like, see, if you are not measuring the outcome of your student, the understanding of the teacher about the student's improvement in the class and the understanding of the student's improvement of a course of the HOD of the department or understanding of the principal about the student's achievement will vary. So that's why for the record, also for the record purpose and to ensure that there is a proper and similar understanding and measurable understanding of the student's achievement on the course that is taught in the program, the head of the department and also the principal should have a better understanding of what is happening in a particular subject, a single subject that is taught, to from narrowing it down to that level. Outcome based learning should be strictly followed by each and every teacher in the courses that they are deliberating in their classrooms. So the curriculum in OBE is designed backward, starting with the end learning outcome in the mind. That is what I was trying to say. So even if you see it as a course from individual subjects, like for example, if you're from commerce and you are going to teach an MBA student, and they have 6 semesters, and every semester may have 3 to 4 papers. Then from individual paper to a semester, a student's performance on an individual paper, a student's performance on every semester, a student performance on the course is our target in one side, and another side our target is the student's achievement at the end. My student should be able to do this particular thing after he completes this paper. My students should be able to these set of activities when they complete their first semester. So that is the separate agenda. So trying to cope up with these two variables actually becomes your central objective when you are starting to teach a course itself. So the curriculum of OBE is designed backward. Here I mean you have to have the activity and the assessments that you are going to give to your students as a priority when we are designing the curriculum itself, so that from the assessment you will think about what kind of activity can be given to these students in the classroom, and for the activity what are the theories and other relevant informations that the students should learn for the course, so that they will be able to perform the activity that you have designed for this course. And the theory and the information that you are centering around, what is the focus of it, what is the goal of teaching those theory and also the other informations that you are going to teach in the course, that becomes the course objective. So the course outcome, you have to start your setting up of the syllabus with the keeping in mind your course outcome, so that your course objective is in line with it, is aligned with it. So this tailored this tailored curriculum ensures that every element of the educational process contributes to achieving the desired results, maximizing educational efficiency and effectiveness. Now, aligning with the stated outcomes, like, so every let us say that for a particular semester, this instructional strategy, what I'm trying to mean by instructional strategy in outcome based education, is focus on engaging students in active learning to achieve the predetermined outcomes. So we know this is the outcome we want. For that, what kind of activity are we going to give, how much time a particular lesson is going to take. Let's assume a unit has got some 10 elements to be taught, and for every element in a unit, how many minutes are you going to devote in the class? So a particular, if a program has 5 various units, and for the every unit you need to say that this will be dealt in 5 hours or 7 hours or 8 hours. So let us assume that the course is of a 3 credit course, and for a 3 credit course or an average of 45 hours of a class, then you have to divide this 45 hours into 10 or 3 or 4, depending on the unit's requirement. And the activity that you are designing for this does not has to be in this classroom hours itself. That is the beauty of outcome based learning, where you can start the activity in the classroom, but the students can take home the activity and complete it in their autonomy by they keeping it in their purview, in their freedom. So that is the idea here. So the instructional strategy here, we mean apart from the recommended class hours for a particular course, what are the assignments that we can give so that we can engage the free hours of the students in a much productive manner to align them to the and to achieve the course outcome proposed in the syllabus. So the assessments here, I mean, the assessments includes it can be quizzes or that you conduct in your classrooms, or some slip tests that you conduct, or even assignments that you give for the students, any form of oral presentation, seminars. It can be any type of assessment, but all these assessments should be aligned in a way with your course objective and course outcome. So in the later slides, I'll be giving you an example and I'll be giving you an example and So in the later slides, I'll be giving you an example and aligned with the course outcome. So when we are submitting a report to the UGC or to AICTE, we can, in your case, I think it is NAB, isn't it? Because it's an MBA, it is a National Accreditation Board. So in that, they have a clear idea of, they ask us that what is the overall outcome of this course, where it can be mathematically illustrated to them. The importance of outcome based education, it should have a clarity and direction. So when a student is reading the when a teacher or a HOD or a principal or a parent or a student, whomever, and a layman, if they are going to go through the syllabus, they should have a clarity on what is their course outcome, in what direction this course is taking them, the travel in this course is going to result in what achievement, skill enhancement. Okay, that is the thing, first and foremost thing, when you follow the outcome based education. So, provide a specific direction for educators and learners, align all educational activities with these goals. Skills mastery. So, you're listing out some 10 skills that should be mastered by the student. At the end of the course, the student should be able to say, at least he has mastered 8 of them. Then the course outcome is successful. And the student has imbibed the maximum number of skills that we are proposing to teach in the course. So that will be proved with the various ways, which I'll be illustrating in the later slides. So an outcome-based education emphasizes mastery of skills and competence rather than just memorization of content, better preparation for the students for real-world challenges. And there is a flexibility that allows for more personalized education, accommodating diverse learning styles and pace, which respects individual differences among learners. So instead of seeing, there are two, three ways of seeing a class outcome. One is overall, like let's assume there are 40 students in the class, in your MBA class, and the outcome of the 40 students as a whole, how they have performed from one semester to another semester. That is one way of seeing. Like maybe the overall average of the class performance of the first semester is somewhere around 63%. And in the second semester, the overall percentage of the semester scores, if you see, it is mounting to 67%, which means there is an improvement from first semester to second semester. That is one way of seeing the individual improvements. Another is the individual way of assessing, like student wise, from first semester to second to third. All the semesters can be marked when you are maintaining a digital platform or as an individual manual also, and track their um, achievement based on the skills also. Like maybe in the first semester we see that the student is good at solving some basic issues, but he has problems in solving theoretical related aspects or much of a practical solutions for a society and all is not able to do. But that at the end of the first year we see that the student has gained understanding on how to address the social issues with the knowledge of and how to gain information to solve social issues. So that is a skill enhancement, right, from the first semester to second semester. So that kind of list of skills that you have listed in the course, for every course, there should be a how we say that there should be a level. So from the lower level to higher level, like we see in the Bloom's taxonomy, the first units of your course curriculum should talk about the introduction about the paper. It's just an introduction, a definition, theories purely. It should be like that. And the second and third unit that design in your curriculum should focus on the information gathering, the more detailed information about the topic that you have proposed in the course, or it can be more application oriented, how to apply that in the real time situation or in the imagined situation. And we see that the last fourth and fifth unit are more practical in nature, where students get an opportunity to analyze and solve the issue. So from the minor problem to the major problem, a strategic planning should be, there in the mind of the teacher who is setting up the syllabus, who is teaching the syllabus, that from the first semester to second semester, the strategies that they deploy to solve an issue should be varying, and the students should be learning various skills to solve the problem. And the problem as such you give in your first semester to the sixth semester, the complexity should increase. The difficulty in dealing with such issues should increase, so that the students also find it challenging and they learn newer dimensions or methodology to solve these complex process as they graduate. So that's how their skill and enhancement can also be assessed and proved and recorded for getting a better accreditation. So accountability promotes outcome-based education actually promotes accountability by explicitly stating what learners need to achieve, making it easier to evaluate if educational objectives are met. So as I was saying, all these things I was explaining the same before. So the quality assurance, the focused nature of OBE on outcomes allows for ongoing quality assurance through regular assessments and feedback, which contributes to continuous improvement in teaching and learning. Employability. By of course, when the students are enhancing themselves in their learning and their skills are getting improved in a measurable manner through the delivery of the teacher in the classroom as lectures or giving assignments or challenging experiments, definitely that is going to help them in getting a better employment. So they are going to be more employable. So by targeting relevant skills and competencies, outcome-based education help in producing graduates who are better equipped to meet the demands of the labor market. So when you are designing a program, you should first research on what is the requirement in the market right now for the graduates that you are training for. And in line with those immediate requirement, we have to propose the program, the course. That is why we say that if annually or 2 years once or 3 years once, we need to update the syllabus. We need to revise the syllabus because the world is changing a lot with the help of technology. So we need to update the syllabus as fast to meet with that changing, requirements of the world. And of course, lifelong learning. So right now that we increase the complexity and make the student understand the process of complexity better, it encourages them in development of skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and adaptability, which are essential for supporting lifelong learning. So you are, as a teacher, you have created the seedling for the student, that the student works on it, solves the problem, and gets the adaptability to face the challenges in the future. So he will know in future if he's going to face any new challenges, also how to deal with that with the help of the learning that we give him as challenges or activities during his course. So the challenges, if we see that the major challenges that we see for practicing the outcome-based education is to identifying appropriate learning outcomes. So you know that this is what you wanted to know. For every, you as a program, like if my student is graduating from an MBA in finance or something, you know that these are the skills that you should know. But when you are, micro level, for every subject that you're proposing, what are he or she is going to learn, and how this learning is going to be different from the other papers that he has learned. Definitely there should be a mark of improvement in the learning that is happening. There should be different skills should be addressed in all the papers. Like in the first semester paper also the outcome is same, and the fourth semester paper also the outcome is same. Then what are we improving on? And there shouldn't be any repetition in the outcomes that you are talking about also. So these all should be checked, the outcome of the first semester paper and then the outcome of the second semester paper. There should be a skill improvement, and there should not be any repetition in the skill that you're talking about. And there should be the levels also, the range of the level should be improving when they are going to the next semesters. So this is definitely a challenging task when you are designing a program with the help of outcome-based education. Ensuring alignment between outcomes, assessment, and teaching. Yes. Now you know this is the outcomes for your one subject that you're going to teach. Now for this subject, the activities that you're going to give for assessment should correctly measure what you wanted to measure as an outcome. Like, for example, you wanted to check the capacity of the student in solving the real-time problem. Then the activity that you have to give for the student should check his ability in real-time issue. And the test that you give should also be falling under some real-time issue, right? So this is a problem. Like sometimes it is understandable. Sometimes it's becoming very difficult for the teachers to understand what can be the exact test that can be given, so that the results of the test can be mapped to the outcome that we are proposing for the course. So that is a greatest challenge, and it takes a quite lot of time for us to decide on the task. And moreover, the task that you are giving should be also parallelly, compensating the theory part that you are teaching in the classroom. So the theory that you're teaching, the activity that you're teaching, and the results of the tests that we are getting all should be in one line. And that, if it is possible, that is a success of the outcome-based education. Okay, so that is a greatest challenge that we see. And gaining faculty support, we need to be cooperative with our own colleagues, and other additional information we should be knowing, solving and best practices for successful implementations. We can visit some places or talk to some other people who are in that area, how to solve these issues. That will be of a great help for you to deal with such difficult challenges. So designing, yeah. So now I am going to start with outcome-based teaching and learning. So far, I've been giving you an introduction on outcome-based education. What are the overall expectation of it? Now I'm going to dig deep into the outcome-based teaching and learning. So designing outcome-based teaching, if you keeping that teaching and learning in mind, what are the graduate attributes? Like I said, first you should know when you're advertising a program for admission itself, you have to tell your students, right? What are you going to gain out of it? What are we proposing to make you gain out of it? So these are the list of things that I have come up with. So have up to date and in-depth knowledge of the academic speciality as well as broad range of general knowledge. Be able to think logically, critically, and creatively. This applies to most of the syllabus, whether it is engineering or whether it is a arts and science, social science, management, in every aspect. This is what we wanted to know. This the students should be able to learn at the end. The in-depth knowledge is required, up-to-date information required. They should learn to be logically thinking, critically, and creatively thinking. Have the necessary numerical skills to function effectively in work and everyday lives. Okay, be an independent and self-directed learner, motivated by an inquiring spirit. Okay, be well developed as a whole person, intellectually, morally, spiritually, culturally, socially, and physically. Should be fit physically, mentally, as a holistic development we should see when they as a program is progressing. Be a responsible citizen with an international outlook and willing to serve the lead. So you should be ready to take the responsibilities and challenges, serve for the nation, build the nation to the higher levels. These are the overall expectations that we are as a student, as a person we have, whether it is a student or a teacher or any program that we design, we have all these out we require all these outcomes at the end. So how are we going to implement it? So outcome based teaching and learning. So as per the UGC's goal in promoting outcome-based approach is simple and straightforward. Improvement and enhancement in student learning and teaching quality. The quality of the teacher should be improved so that the student learning is also improving. And it should be measurable, and through proper measure, we should be able to show the improvement. That is what is their expectation. A central aspect of this is alignment of learning outcome, teaching and learning processes, and assessment. Examining this alignment has been an evolving but important feature of previous UGC initiatives, and with continue to be focused on quality assurance for UGC. This is their expectations, and in that line, we are progressing the teaching and learning for any program. The spirit of outcome based teaching and learning is that in teaching, what ultimately matter is not what is taught, but what is learned. So I can say that I have taught tables up to 100 tables to my students. First I have taught 42 tables, I have taught fifth table, I have taught 18th table, anything you can say. But finally, what the students had learned, how many tables has he memorized, isn't it? That is the ultimate truth. That is the purpose of their student coming for learning, etc. Similarly, the spirit of the outcome based teaching and learning is not to judge the quality of the teacher alone. It also says that whether the student is learning effectively or mastered whatever the teacher has taught or not. That is the thing. So therefore, teachers would do well to set their course objective in terms of learning outcome. Logic of outcome-based teaching and learning. The logic is stunningly obvious. Say what you want to the students. You say straightly, see, by reading this course, you will be achieving this. Be able to teach them to do it and then see if they can. In fact, to do it. Okay, so you should be able to learn, able to do and see, and then able to replicate it, in various other application. That is what is an expectation. I have brought from my for English. Okay, since I am I'm teaching English in National Institute, so I have brought in some a course material as an example for you to teach. But before that, I would like to show you some sample curriculum that is uploaded in NIT Warangal for management studies, so that I will also give you some activities to do, a hands-on session for you to work on these things and come back. And I will be sharing my course objectives, outcomes. With that, you can check your course outcomes and other aspects that you've been working on in the time that is given by me to you.
Madam, any problem, madam?
Is the screen visible to you, sir?
Yes, madam. Now it is visible, madam.
Fine. So I wanted to show this syllabus to you so that you will, I thought it will be helpful for you to create one syllabus, course outcome and objectives from your side on your own. I'll give you some 15 minutes after giving this task to you, so that you can start developing the objectives for your course and outcome for your course and some few activities. So yeah, this is a syllabus of MBA of recent one, a new one of NIT Warangal. So the vision and the mission statement is there for the course, and it is common for every program that we design. It is a 2 years full-time MBA, and they have an MBA in management also. It is 8 quadrants, you see, in 2 years course that run into 8 quadrants. And here comes the actual agenda that we were discussing so far, the program educational objective. So, MBA is a program, a BTech is a program, MTech is a program. So, these program outcomes are already listed by UGC, AICT, and whatever these kind of program outcomes are already there. Now, you need to select which are appropriate for them, for your educational outcome objectives that they have chosen to encourage research, innovation, and entrepreneurial mindset. That is PEO1. PEO2 is to groom graduates with requisite practical knowledge, ability, along with interpersonal skills to make them employable. These two are the primary program educational objective that NIT Warangal School of Management has adopted. Okay. So any parent or student, or any educators, they open up. Now it is very clear that they are promising that the students will be able to get these outcome at the end of this MA, at the end of their MBA. Okay. So the research, innovation, and entrepreneurial aspect. Second is the practical knowledge, ability for interpersonal communication. These are the things. And then they are also coming with a program articulation matrix, which talks about mission statement. The mission is, they have also given how they are matching their mission statement with program educational objective. So what is the mission of impart management education synchronized with the needs of the industry, to strengthen the leadership quality, to enhance the analytical and problem solving ability. So these are the three missions, and these missions are mapped with the program educational objective, and they are saying how strong is that. So we see that all these three missions are very strongly connected with the PEO2 program. So that is clearly understood. we are understanding that statements. Now coming to the program outcomes. So program objective is there, education objective is there. They are matching that with vision, mission statement of the program, and then they are having a program outcome. Now we have not started with the semester at all. This is the overall program for MBA. What is the program outcome? So PO1, program objective 1 is applying knowledge of management theory and practice to solve business problems. Similarly, they have listed exhibit lifelong learning and professional ethics with integrity for sustainable business practices. And few communicate effectively in technology mediated environment, this business community and society at large. So these are the POs that they have listed for the course MBA. Now what they have said, as usual, like we see this, we all of us know there will be course code, course title, LTP credits category. They have listed all the semester papers. So what is instruct in NIT Warangal, not only for MBA, for English or engineering, we map it, and the mapped curriculum outcome and the program outcome will be displayed in these. This is a course outcome. This is the first paper that is listed in HS 5101 is the first paper. Business communication is listed in the MBA first semester that we from the English department, we used to teach them business communication. Okay. So, and but still it is a part of their MBA paper. Given this is, we have only proposed this syllabus from the humanities department. We have only proposed the syllabus, but we are proposing this syllabus in line with the MBA's may be different. For if a civil department has a particular objective, when we are proposing any English paper for them, we will be following the course outcomes of the civil department or the electrical department, because the course is floated in their program. So finally, the outcome of the program should be in line with the course that we are floating. So that in that context, the course outcome, this is what framed by us, but it is in line with the program outcome stated by the management department. Here we see the program objective POs 1 to 7 was given, 1 to 6 was given. See, 1 to 6 was given, and we are mapping that 1 to 6 for every course that we are teaching. So this 1 to CO1 to CO7 is mapped with PO1 to PO6. And the strength is mentioned here, whether it is poorly connected or moderately connected or strongly connected. That 1, 2, 3 is indicating that. Okay. So then runs the program, the syllabus, the importance of the communication in business context, the process and types of communication. This is the syllabus, unit-wise syllabus they have given, and the learning resources they have given, textbook and reference book. These two we used to give in our syllabus. Reference has both textbook references and reference books in our syllabuses. So this is one example. Secondly, you see the second paper is business statistics. Again, you see that course objective. Course objective is course outcome is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the course outcome is mapped with program outcome. And the strength of it is, what is the PO1? Let me see what is PO1. PO1 is apply the knowledge of management theory and practice to solve business problem. Apply the knowledge of management theory and practice to solve business problem. So it is about understanding the management theory. Okay. So the first course that they have proposed, how much it is correlating. So first course that is related to English. The outcome, understanding the nuances of real-time business communication and implementing that management theory into business communication, it is strongly connected. So that is sustainable. 3 they have mapped. In understanding the understanding the concept of statistics or business decision. So again, it is a management theory related only. So it is strongly connected. And similarly, PO2 and the first PO1, how it is much connected. So cross diagonally, they are connecting the strength and they are showing it. So this is the first section. And similarly, what we do after we do completed this syllabus, we will we will be giving marks for the quizzes, assignments, exams, and semester exams, right? We will be mapping those with the course outcome, CO1, CO2, CO3, and then quiz. And for the quiz, what is the mark? For every student, we will be mapping. So PO, program objective, course objective, assessment marks will all be, graphed, will be mapped. And then the resultant will be, analyzed, and the output will be given. That will become the overall outcome of the course. And individual student outcome is also possible. I'll show that example after some time. Now I want to give you some 10 to 15 minutes time to work out on something like this, the course articulation matrix for any one of the course that you are teaching in your class. So this program outcome will be definitely there in the program that you are teaching. You go and list out at least one or two program objectives, and you try to correlate your course objective, right? If you have course objective, you can definitely map it. If you don't have it, you start writing your course objective, what you want it to be. So the sample is here. The sample is there. Course objective is there. Program objective will be definitely there. From as a paragraph, or at least you need to write them as points and keep. And course objective you should start write if start writing if you don't have. If you already have, then try to map these two in this idea, like very slightly or moderately or sustainably it is mapping. So this is the task that I wanted to give you for some 10 minutes. Then I'll come back and I will show you how have I given such examples and how I created activities keeping this course outcomes and POs in mind. And that will be the second section of our talk. Yeah.
Madam, any problem, madam?
मेरे को जहाँ तक ज्ञान है सभी किए हमने पिछले साल जो कंपटीशन बनाए थे ना वो डेट था 23/5/2000।
Outcome-based education.
So those you have done some activity can show, if you're interested, you can show it to me or you can ask your doubts. Do you already have this COPO mappings in your syllabus, in your course, sir? Yes. Yeah, you can explain. Champa Vijay Kumar, sir, you can explain.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, usually outcome-based education is framed by our syllabus concerned university only. Based on the syllabus was divided into different categories and subunits were classified, and then they have clearly mentioned outcome. What in the end, subject-wise, unit-wise, subdivision-wise, subclassification-wise, sub-subclassification-wise, what is the learning objectives? What he or she is going to learning the things. So, but we are planning this time evidence-based education. Outcome-based education is completed. We are going for evidence-based education also. So we have introduced at our college level and then evidence-based education.
Yes.
Thank you.
So do you match your assessments marks also with the COs and POs and then show the results, sir? After you complete, when you submit your paper correction for every semester for the course, you also do the CO PO mapping along with the assessment marks and then you submit it as a file. Now we are talking about evidence-based education, right? So that the kind of e-portfolio development and record keeping and all, is it done in this way?
Yes, only that only. But whereas in case of the our university is concerned, out of the interest we are following evidence-based education. But as far as it is concerned with respect to the respective my university, they are not following like this. But we have evidence-based education. But learning outcomes will be the present learning outcomes, and then outcome-based education only. It's nothing but.
Okay.
Thank
Fine.
you.
So I'll be moving on with the
And
examples of
then we have published 2 articles on that.
that's great.
Evidence-based
Nice.
education, we published 2 articles, and then international level also we presented evidence-based education and then outcome-based education. That the difference between outcome-based education and evidence-based education also we published an article and presented my research work, and then research not compiled work. I cannot say research, compiled work.
Compiled work. Okay, yes.
Thank
Good.
you.
So yeah. So now I'll be going in for the lesson like
Yeah,
syllabus
sure.
preparation. Yes.
Sure, and then very
There
nice
I'll be
presentation. It is highly useful for us, to be frank. Thank you,
thank
madam.
you, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially for upcoming teachers like assistant professors who just started their career, they should definitely know how to frame course objective, what is program outcome, what is program objective, and based on that, why are these there in the syllabus? Okay. So that they plan their lessons accordingly and decide on the activities, because they are more, they are born in a different world where technology units peak. So they will be having a great idea to collaborate useful technologies into the activities that they're designing for the students. But once they know the value of these course outcomes and objectives, they will be designing a wonderful, exciting activities for the students so that they accomplish it easily. So I, with that, keep an introduction in the mind. I would like to start with my examples. What are the things that we keep in mind when we are designing a learning outcomes? Like sir was talking, see, outcome based education is nothing but a clear giving us a clarity on in what direction we are moving, when we are starting our teaching for a course. Without a proper imagination or where we are going to end, we cannot start the journey of teaching a particular subject. That is the idea here. So let us assume that the course title is English through current events, that they wanted to teach English with current events. I just took this as an example because many of you are from commerce and management. So we'll be dealing with economical aspects, statistics, which are dealing with current events and happenings in the market, business market. So I thought of proposing this course as an example to you. The course, and that if this is the title of the course where we are trying to teach English with current events, then the course objective will be the course aimed at helping the students improve their English proficiency in all the 4 skills of reading, writing, listening, and speaking by keeping abreast of current events as reported in the mass media. Like we can ask them to refer to newspapers, magazine, TV, radio, and other internet sources and read them, gain the information out of them, and generate a knowledge and interact that in the interest of current events in the world in the classroom. Okay, so that will be the course objective of that is the aim of the course, to put it in a simple manner. Then this is the aim of the course, and what can be the learning outcomes. So now we have listed 3. That is, at present, the end of the course, students should be able to, when he completes this course, the student should be able to use English effectively in speaking and writing about current events, understand spoken and written news report in English accurately, analyze and discuss news reports and commentaries critically in an informed manner. Okay, So these are the three aspects the student should be capable of doing at the end of the course. So now I have to design the activity and the teaching materials to reach this learning outcome. That is what we said, that we are going from the backwards. Going from the backward is learning object outcome is this. For this, what kind of activity I have to design? For that, what kind of material I have to use for teaching? Okay. So the student should be able to develop a broad acquaintance with the current events and the issues in various spheres: political, economical, social, cultural, moral and educational aspects. So develop a personal and rational point of view on the current events and the issues. So the teaching and the learning activity, what are the activities that we will be planning is that student will get extensive opportunity to read and listen. So I'll be supplying the students with materials for listening, like for example, great legendary speakers talks on a particular topic. There are seminar articles which will be there. Even if it is a current affairs, that a certain seminar article should be read. Okay, so like if you're going to talk about feminism, how can we skip Judith Butler's gender performity? It is not possible. They should know these authors and seminal authors. So we should be supplying them. You should decide on these are the areas which I'm going to touch upon for the current happenings. And in that connection, what are the seminal articles that are available? What are the legendary talks that are available, which we as a teacher should finalize and supply the material to them. So the current events, both local and the worldwide, including not only the political and economic events, but developments in education, art, science, technology, society, lifestyle, force. It can be versatile in nature, adhering to the interest of the students. So each and every student will have a different interest. So based on their interest, they can choose and they can discuss with the teacher also. So the class activities will typically take the form of reading and listening to reports on the latest current events, discussion of reported events in small groups, followed by a general discussion. So these are the set of activities that I'm saying. So I will be teaching them how to read a research article or how to read a report, because they are just an undergraduate. They wouldn't have got exposed so much to reading a research article or a report writing in with research perspective. So first of all, in the course, we should teach them how to understand these reports, how to read or gain information from this. So that will be taught by the teacher, and then the material will be supplied to the students on how to read and listen to such reports. Followed by that, and the discussion on the reported events will be there in a small group. We can make the students into teams and ask them to discuss in small groups, and then a general discussion can also followed by in the classroom. The students bringing in a news item of their own choice and reporting on them to the class, followed by a discussion depending on the class interest. So other activities will include individual students making a 5 minutes oral presentation on a particular current event, giving a personal commentary or analysis of it. So you decide for your student what level of activity you have to pitch. If they are a first semester student, this activity will be perfect. Giving an oral presentation and giving a small group discussion. If they are going to be in the second semester, then the little bit higher, we can, from the small group discussion, we can go in for inquiry based discussion, where they can inquire and find out the information which is discussed is right or not. What the small group is discussing, they have to go and cross verify their information that are generating as right or not in the second semester. And the third semester, we can see that you are giving them activities where they have to apply the knowledge in the Bloom's taxonomy level. I'm talking to understanding, and second level of information, applying, analysis, evaluate. I'm talking about those stages. So in that similar line, based on the semester, and you can map that with the level of the students and give a complex task. So instead of oral presentation, if the student is in the fourth semester, we can ask them to analyze the report and give their own personal viewpoints on how to solve the issue. So that comes under a very higher order thinking skills of analyzing and providing a solution for the current happening. So that can be given to the students in fifth semester or sixth semester. So we have to see their level and accordingly place the activity. Class debates on controversial current issues, written essays on topics of current interest. So these are all the activities that we should be focusing on when we are giving an activity for this course. Then assessment. Coming to the assessment, coursework will be 50%, final test will be 50%. So this 50 will be again divided into 30, 10 and 10, where two essay writing will be given for them. They have to write two essays, and the class debate will be there for the 10 marks will be there, and oral presentation, the class will be given 10 marks. So every activity that you give to the student, if it has some mark, then you know that naturally the student will be interested in working on it a lot, right? So this gaining importance to marks is also important. So the final test will include a written essay and the reading test to test the student's ability and comprehend and interpret current events. So choosing a current event of any kind, political, economical, cultural, artistic, scientific, recreational, there is n number of possibilities available. Okay, as reported in the mass media in the recent weeks, attach a copy of a report to your assignment. Then discuss this event, bringing out clearly why we think it is significant and worthy of attention, and proceed to give your own analysis and commentary on it. Okay, so you can, for instance, be critical and expose what you see as human failings or errors in the events itself, or the way it was reported in the media, or questions its truthfulness or accuracy or impartiality. Why I'm reading all these things in detail is this, even though it is a perspective of real life happening in terms of English language acquisition, these aspects are all similar for any management studies. They should, any incidents or case study should be dealt in these perspectives. It will be useful. So you can support it with expanding on certain points, strengthening the position or argument, providing further details, or you can suggest solutions to the problem, course of action. So as a group, they can come up with a solution, or as an individual, you can give, or as a teacher, by asking questions, you can come in for a solution. So the deliberation on the outcome, what can be the solution, will be much meaningful rather than seeing the activity alone. Then discuss the purpose on the assessments with the students. So how are we going to discuss? The assessment is to facilitate students in creating your own thoughts and ideas. So we will tell, like, why are we giving, we should tell the students also, why do we give this assignment? Out of this, what are you going to learn? What is our expectations from you, that by doing this activity, you will learn this, so that the students also have a clarity on that and they work accordingly to achieve that in the activity that we are giving them. So this is, as I said, that I will show you some templates on COPOS mapping. See, digital ones are quite easy. If you have MOOCs platform, you have your own intranet facilities in your institutes, you can make use of it. Or through Moodle, you can try to create one for your institute. Because digital portfolioing or mapping is always useful, where you can keep track of students' performance for all the 4 years if they are BTech, or all the 2 years if they are. See, even like 8 quadrants, they are saying, like eight different quadrants they are teaching their students. The 8 quadrants performance can be easily analyzed and made into a graph if we are going for a digital platform. So here we see that here they have given a quiz, they have given an assignment, and that quiz is mapped to core subjective 1. And the second quiz is mapped to core subjective 2. So you have to see that the activities that you are giving is also matching to the core subjective that you have said in the course. That is very important. And their achievement for the marks are also recorded side by side. And then you see that core subjective here, we tick mark against them. What are the first activity which you are giving is matched to core subjective 2 and program objective 1, means you need to tick mark against them. Sometimes 2 course objectives also it will meet the activity that you are giving. So accordingly, you should tick mark, and so that it will be helpful for you as a teacher to understand their performance. The students' feedback about the course. So the students and teacher feedback that we used to generally get from students, we will be getting feedback about the course, feedback about the pedagogical implementation of the course, and feedback of the teacher. Pedagogical information is like using PPT, digital materials and all that. I'm just little going bit faster because I have so many slides to cover and we have less time. I'll be going little faster now. So digital platforms that are available and other materials that are used in the classroom, that also will be evaluated and judged for understanding the course feedback, and feedback about the teacher performances will be there. From teacher's side, you will see that the teacher reflection on the course. So even though you have drafted your course very clearly with aligned with course program outcome, course outcome, and then learning outcomes, you should as a teacher, there is always a scope for improvement. So you should give a reflection about the course and record it in every semester that you are teaching for the course. What is the time that is taking for the units, how much possibility there is there in the coverage of the units, what students felt for every activity that you gave, is there satisfactory from the students, or we need to improve the activity or change the activity a little bit to further progress the students in a much advanced level. And these discussions should be done by the teacher itself, by the reflection and their experience in the classroom, and should be recorded. That is also important, so that you further, when you want to revise the course in a board of studies, you can remember these points and accordingly revise in the future. So the example classroom activities to attain learning outcomes. These are some of the activities which I have listed out. I thought it will be useful for you. So student survey, peer evaluation, students portfolio, behavioral observation, written test, mapped with course learning outcome, written project reports, oral presentation, research proposal, and problem solving. Then coming to triangulation. Triangulation is a very important aspect in this overall talk that I wanted to talk to you. So the course objective with course activity and course outcome, all these things, three things should be, triangulated, so that the teacher is not deviated from any of this aspect and very strictly directed towards the achievement of the goal of the course. Okay. So triangulation is a process by which a teacher collects evidence about students' learning. This evidence is collected from the different sources. These sources are conversations, observations, and products, which is targeting on learning outcomes, teaching, and methodologies and assessments. So these three things should be triangulated. So need for triangulation. Why there is need for triangulation? How to embed them in students, how to assess whether the learning has taken place or not. You should know the learning has taken place. For what you are teaching in that direction, whether learning has happened or not. For that, this triangulation is important. So there is no little use of introducing innovative teaching strategies, unless you know. So see what learning outcomes you are trying to achieve in the students, how well the students can perform as a result of innovation. This should be recorded. For that, this practice will be of help. So what is the outcome-based teaching and learning? You see, is a student-centered approach. I already told you before, for the delivery of educational program. The curriculum topics in a program and courses are expressed clearly as an intended outcome for you to achieve. Teaching is then designed to directly facilitate you to achieve those outcomes. So the major component here is teaching, the designing that you are doing, the activity which you are giving to the students. All teacher is only planning well, but for the convenience of the students to learn in a convenient manner, in a much better, for the much better results. So these are outcome programs and course outcomes assessments. Okay, so here I have told you for a course what you have to do, triangulation. Similarly, for the program also there is a requirement. And after that, to consider as one full record, whether as a sir was saying that evidence-based learning and all that, but for any kind of recording, the record that you wanted to maintain for a program, you need to have overall all this, like program objective, course outcome, learning outcome, assignments, activities, marks given for that, mapping of it, marks, achievements, and their outcomes. And then we see this, the exit survey, the program, the feedback of the students for the program. Finally, alumni survey and interview regularly, like for a year, after a year. Then employers, the employer surveys and interview is Your students, after they completed the program, they get a job, they get employed, and in that job, in the company, their superior can have to give a feedback for your students so that you will know where they are good, where they are lacking, so that the future students of yours can be trained to meet the requirement of the employer. That is the employer survey and interview. Job offers and starting salaries related to it, where you are pitching your students, like national level, where you are benchmarking your students, like the level of your students that should be marked. Okay. So admissions to graduate programs, and we see that, see, every year, even in NITs, national institutes, we compete with our own benchmarking. Like if a student has got 66 lakhs package last year, then we achieve that he has to get 68 lakhs package this year. Next year we want that to be 77% lakhs per annum. So like that we target, we want to place our students a much job opportunity in the market. Okay. So that pitching should be there, and you should have a record of those things as a proof. Admission to graduate school. Now you can ask, now why are we maintaining all these things? Because your program validation is depending upon all these things. Your students' feedback, their achievements, their marks, where they are getting job, what the employer is thinking about your students when they are working for their company, what kind of a salary, what job they are doing, what, how much salary they are earning. Okay, if they are going for higher education, means where they are going, which institute they're going abroad, means what is the rank of the institute that they are going for, performance in group and internship assignments. Okay, all that, the assignments, reports, cases in capstone design courses, standardized test results of them, all that should be explained. Okay, so TOEFL results, gate scores, or any gate clearance that your students are doing, or CAT exams they are clearing, their scores, all that report, everything compiled, and then you're submitting as a record, will show it as a proof, a validation for the successful running of the program by your institute. So this is what is like outcome based education is talking about in the perspective of teaching and learning. Okay, so the program, as I said, these are the things. Okay, I'll just quickly show these things, like what is a course, and for every, as sir already told, for every topic, see, this is the course objective, course topic. Now course objective and course topics are listed here, and every topic is mapped to the course objective here. Through lecture I am giving, covering this activity, or activity is they are doing, or whether they are doing assignment for this topic, like this, the teacher should record it. Here see, the third activity is based on assessment and quizzes. Okay, and the overall results of the student is also given here. So when you are mapping like this, it has a very it is very clear. So this topic it is covered under course objective 1 and 2, and I have given a test to exactly test a topic, and their outcome is like more than 80%. That means a good achievement for the student. Okay, so this is a one template that I wanted to show you. The learning outcomes, teaching strategies, assessment methodologies are all can be tabulated like this for the understanding and record keeping purposes of your course that you're running. So in conclusion, I would like to say that triangulation is just a parameter. There is a need to educate faculty in the area where the learning outcome formulation and mapping with program learning outcome is important. Assessment with this multiple driven not only for product but other two elements as well, and must be based on learning outcomes already identified. Okay, thank you. So always keep a track on your learning outcome for your course, and design your course from backward to learning outcomes to reach your program objective. Thank you. Is there any questions or any comments? If you have any questions, you can ask, or any other information that you wanted to communicate also, you're welcome. Or you can even type in the chat box. If it's there, I'm there, I'll be answering, ma'am. Otherwise, you can
Yeah.
proceed.
Yeah,
Yes.
ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am, we are very much grateful, ma'am, for your, for accepting our invitation and being with us today for this session, ma'am. Really, we all enjoyed the session and it is very much elaborate and informative, ma'am. Thank you very much, and which is very much useful for the
Thank you.
teaching
Thank you,
faculty.
ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, madam, for sharing all this information. I think this is very good presentation. It is more very helpful to all our teachers. I think this is my bounden job to express my happiness. We are very, very immensely benefited by your talk, and we thank you very much for joining us, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Your session was so informative. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you. So can I leave, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, wait for a moment, madam. We will propose formal vote of thanks. Vijayalakshmi, madam.
Yeah, sir, it's over. Ma'am, on behalf of the institution and on my personal behalf, my sincere thanks to you, ma'am, for being with us today and for delivering such a wonderful lecture, which is very much useful for the teaching faculty. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
చెప్పినాను కదా ప్రొద్దున చెప్పిన పుల్ల ఒక్కడు కొనన్నా అంతే.
Yeah, we are extremely thankful because of the last minute inclusion. You have gracefully agreed to be here, madam. That is the, I think, highlight of the day.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, with small announcement that Monday is the last day of this 7-day faculty development program. As usual, we will be having the class, and after that we will be having valedictory session. Kindly participate in the class as well as in the valedictory session. And all the participants, please answer the feedback form. Not tomorrow, Monday.
So it is requested to the all the members,
That's right.
try to give the response to the activity that participate in the program decision making so that we'll get a lot of information from whatever projects you have. Just ask the resource persons to get a lot of information. So we are simply listening and going, we will not get that much information. So we have to extract the information from our resource persons, please. All are the participate actively. It is my sincere request as well as the advice to all of you.
Madam,